You may be asking, what is in the NEACH Real-Time Education for Real-Time Payments course? And well, why do I even care? Well, let me tell you. There are 5 main areas of the course. The first one, of course, is an introduction to RTP and the clearinghouse. Next, we have a section that focuses on the RGP participants. Then there's the key concepts for compliance, and a section devoted to introducing the messaging within RGP. And finally, an introduction to prefunding and settlement. Well, what will I learn in these classes? In the introduction to RGP and the clearinghouse, you will be introduced to what is RGP and who is the clearinghouse. Well, we will also dispel some of the myths and the mysteries and misunderstandings surrounding RGP. We will also cover what payments qualify to be real-time payments, but then discuss what's strictly prohibited within the RGP network. In the RGP Participants section of the course, we're going to review the eligibility requirements for RGP. Who are the actual RGP main participants? And then we'll have a focus on the funding participants, as well as a class dedicated to the difference between a funding manager or a funding provider, an extremely important concept within RGP. Of course, understanding the participants, that is only part of the picture, because in the next section, we are going to focus on compliance responsibilities for all participants, with classes actually dedicated to sending participants and receiving participants when it comes to their compliance. An important concept to understand about RGP is that it is really a faster messaging system that moves information and money. That is why we have a section dedicated to messaging. So in the Introduction to Messaging section, you will get an introduction to all messaging, including request for payment and the request for payment requirements. And would you believe there actually are only 6 basic types of messages? And we'll have a class dedicated just to what those 6 messages are. But the course, well, it would not be complete without this final section, which is an introduction to prefunding and settlement. Just how does settlement and prefunding work with RGP? Well, in this section of the course, we have classes that focus on just that, settlement and prefunding. With an introduction to prefunding and settlement, a class dedicated to funding the settlement account, and finally, a class on how settlement works. In the Real-Time Education for RGP course, to help enforce everything you learn, each section of the course has a Payments Professor pop quiz. Okay, it's not really a pop quiz because you know it's coming, and it's more of a review of each section. And it's to close out that section of the course. And in that particular class within each section, there'll be questions that are asked and then answered right there for you. What are the 3 possible responses a receiving participant must respond with to a payment message? That is going to be accept, reject, or accept without posting. Oh, and by the way, you'll also get a workbook to accompany the pop quiz classes. See, I worked with NEACH, and we are providing a workbook that lets you follow along with the section review. As the questions are asked, you get to pause the video, then write in your answers, then check them against the answers that I'll provide within the class for you. Oh, and by the way, the answers are also in the back of the book, just to make sure you don't miss anything. All that and more is waiting for you to get your real-time education on RGP started. 5 sections, 27 videos, all under 10 minutes long that you watch at your convenience, from wherever you want, on whatever device you want. Oh, and a workbook with all the answers provided. So what do you think? Are you ready to start your real-time payments education? Go to neach.org to learn more and start processing your RGP education today. I'll see you in class.